Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining us on tonight's live. Hi, you again. Thank you. Hi, Tiffany. Thank you for joining. I should be able to add you now. Let's see. I think you have to send me a request, Tiffany, so I can add you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. We can't wait to unpack for you tonight. Guest is here. Just give her a few minutes. I have just added her to the live. It seemed to be taking a little longer. Send me a request. Hi.
Hi, can you hear
How
me?
how are you, Queen?
Good. I have you in two places here, so I'm going to take you off of one. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for joining me tonight. You look remarkable as usual. You look
Thank you.
beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I see lots of people are already joining us. So I want to say, first and foremost, thank you to our audience for joining us tonight. It is Sunday night. They could have been anywhere else, but they decided to spend their time with us. So for this, we are very, very, very grateful. So, our audience, we thank you for joining us, and we will take another 2, 3 minutes. Please don't get off. I just want maybe to have a little more, or more of our audience joining us before we start. But I can't wait to tell you that our topic tonight, if you are a founder, if you are growing your own personal brand, if you are a small business owner, whatever you do, in whatever field you are, you need to listen to our Lehigh Valley, one of Lehigh Valley's most influential leader, and that is none other than Miss Tiffany Sondergaard. Did I pronounce it well?
Sondergaard, yes, Sondergaard.
Sondergaard.
With two
Thank you.
A's at the end.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. So before I start, I will go ahead and introduce myself because we may have people from your platform as well as mine. Some people may not know me. So good evening and welcome everyone. And thank you for joining us. My name is Pamela Robinson, and what do I do? I am an international speaker, corporate trainer, and coach. And my work really focuses on helping individuals, teams, employees, and small businesses really strengthen their communication and build their confidence and elevate their team's performance. And how do I do that? Really through training. My background includes leading five-star boutique hotels across the world. That's the Caribbean, Asia, North America. And to this day, I continue to support hospitality properties such as Hotel Bethlehem with sales and marketing and relationship building, and other companies in the hospitality and travel industry. And now I'm shifting focus. Tonight, I have the pleasure of speaking with someone who has worked tremendously in the PR business. She has made a significant impact in public relations, communications, and event marketing. Tiffany Sondergaard is the founder of, how do you say it? Is it TS?
Yes, TS, like my initials, TS, Tiffany
TS,
Sondergaard, so TS, yes.
thank you. TS Brand Elevation, a PR and communications agency which is known for helping businesses, nonprofits, and public figures increase their visibility through strategic media. And I can tell you, she's on the ball with that. I have experienced it firsthand. Tiffany is known for her storytelling and her high impact events. She has more than 20 years of experience, and her work has been featured on major national platforms. She's also the creator of Toasty Queen, a professional development and networking community that brings women together for connection, growth, and visibility. And this is so true. We are not giving you any information that is superficial. I met Tiffany through one of her Toasty Queen events.
Yes.
So tonight, I am so excited to have you with me, Tiffany, and thank you for joining this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So I want to start. I always like to start from where we started, right?
Okay.
So
Let me get
people
comfortable.
can know. Exactly. So can you just share with us how you first got started in PR?
Yes. So I started in PR directly outside of school. I went to college for public relations and advertising. I was a mass communications major. I graduated with both a public relations and an advertising certificate or
Degree. Yeah.
degree. Thank you. It's Sunday afternoon,
I
so
understand. It's
so
okay.
forgive me there. But yeah, and so immediately I was recruited by a PR agency in New York, and my very first job was I booked media tours for New York Times bestselling authors.
Wow.
Yeah, back then we would put the New York Times bestselling authors in a room and we would book them 10, 5 to 10 television shows, 5 to 10 newspaper interviews, and 5 to 10 radio interviews over the course of 3 to 5 hours, just back to back, back to back. I mean, and you can still hear of that now when it comes to movie junkets. They kind of just sit them in a room with the background of the movie and have them do back to back interviews. But so we did that for New York Times bestselling authors, and that was my very first job.
Wow. So that explains it, Tiffany. You
Yeah.
are always ready for the camera. Look at you. That explains it.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, I was kind of put right into
so
that
you have quite
scene.
a bit of experience, not only in PR, not only in terms of qualifications, experience, but you have the big city life experience. I always tell people to I love New York. There is
Yes.
just something about New York. And now I have my daughter who's into law and she's indicating that she's going to move to a big city, probably New
Oh,
York.
okay. She'll love
So
it. New
she
York is a
will.
great place to cut your teeth. I mean, and that is exactly what you do is cut your teeth. I mean, they throw you right into it. I mean, if that's the experience you have or if that's the qualifications you have, it's sink or swim. But if you've done the work and if you're, knowing that she's your daughter and I know everything you do and how you are, she'll swim.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now tell us, Tiffany, what experiences from your early career would you say shaped the work you do today?
So, as I mentioned, I booked media tours for New York Times bestselling authors, but my very first foray into that, I did not realize that when I was pitching media, that first week there, where they literally just said, "Here's your author, here's the book, here's the synopsis, have at it." And I just picked up the phone and started calling. I didn't realize that that was something that many people are not as confident to do. That some people picking up the phone and cold calling or pitching. I didn't think it was cold calling. I just, in my head, the way that I just was wired was, this is what it is. This is my goal. I have the information. I'll use and I can't believe I'm about to date myself. I will use the phone book and figure out where NBC is and ABC is, and I'll just call them and they'll tell me
Oh
who
my
books the
God.
interviews. And literally that's what I did. And so I've taken that with me my entire life because it worked. I mean, my very first author that I received, literally fresh out of college, Julie Morgenstein, organizing from the inside out. I booked up her entire day. She got a second day. And of course, this wasn't at the time, one of the top. She wasn't a celebrity or wasn't, but she was a New York Times bestselling author. And so, they didn't give me one of the top picks, I would say. And I hate to say that for Julie, but, at the time they thought they were giving a junior publicist just something to work on. And I actually got a second day, needed to book a second day because I booked the first one up in a week. And so I say I take that with me. I don't really, it's not that I don't hear no. I just keep going until I get a yes. I'll take a slow yes over a fast no any day.
Wow, congratulations on that, Tiffany, because we're speaking the very same language. You
Yes.
know, I tell people when we are now in the age of AI, and we know our young people growing up, and even people like you and I, some of us, we are quite afraid because of AI. But I
Right.
tell people that artificial intelligence is an enabler, and we ought to
Hmm.
see it as an enhancer. So I see artificial intelligence as the backstage crew, and we're the front stage crew. We're running the show.
I like
And
that.
cold calling is one of the skills. Confidence building is one of the skills that we will need that AI cannot replace.
That's true. That is
And
true. Because robocalling even now is something that, there's that pause. Everybody knows that pause when you get that phone call and you're like, okay, that's my time to hang up, right? And so, yeah, you're
so, for
absolutely
our
right.
young people listening tonight, our founders, these are skills that artificial intelligence cannot replace. You're looking at soft skills. Tiffany's talking about confidence building. Now, Tiffany, you made a very important point. You spoke about confidence
Yes.
briefly.
Yes.
I keep preaching to our young people, and when I speak, some people believe confidence is a personality trait. But really and truly, confidence is not a personality trait. It is not something we are born with. It is something that we develop as we go about our day. The more we practice, the more we do the things that we want to achieve, the better
Right.
we get at it. And when we get better at what we want to accomplish, we feel a lot more confident because it boosts our self confidence. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, confidence is something in, I think, most instances, and it's not compared this way, but it can be, is hunger, right? Like everybody is motivated by different things. And when you tap into that motivation and the goals that you're looking to achieve, it's very easy to be confident about getting that goal done and checking that thing off the list. If I once joked a while ago, I said, hey, I will have 2 kids in college next year at the same time. So guess what? Be prepared to see me everywhere because I'm going to be out there working, right? Because the one thing I am not going to say is, no, I can't help you. I can't help my child go to college. So, though that's motivation. So that will help me pick up the phone, or that will help me close a deal, or that will help me, get up in the morning on a Saturday or a Sunday and get ahead of the work for the week. Because I want happy clients. I need happy deals. I need things to go through because I've got 2 kids going to college. So sometimes that hunger and motivation brings out a confidence in you didn't know you had.
I agree. And again, bringing out the confidence that you didn't know you had is by taking action.
Right.
When you take action, you will grow your self confidence. So, for our audience listening tonight, Tiffany is sharing nuggets of wisdom with you. And I see we're receiving comments in our comment section that I will refer to in a
Oh,
few
I love
minutes.
that.
Yes.
Yep.
Now,
It's
Tiffany, tell us a little about brand elevation and what inspired you to create brand elevation.
So when I worked in New York City for decades, right, for a very long time, and I could say that I fell in love and got married and started having children, and so moved out of the city. I was very honest with myself at that time. I had never commuted before. I had always lived there. And I said, I don't know if I could be that woman on the subway with the stroller. And for those that have ever lived there, understand what I'm saying. With the stroller and the doors on the subway closing and all of the things and rushing to catch the train and at Penn Station. And I know that being in PR, a lot of things were late nights, so launches at night, launch party or events at night. And so I just didn't think that I could do that commuter life. And so I started working in the country club scene here in the Lehigh Valley. And so years go by, I took the fact that my basic skills that I used in New York, and I still freelanced, but, were media relations and launching, products, line extensions, which translated into launch events. Right. And so I took that area of my expertise and used it in the country club scene in events. And so I was able to learn through a number of fantastic people in events here. Jeffrey DeAngelis, I worked with him at several different venues here in the Lehigh Valley. Karen Mesh, with the Lehigh Bar, and just several different locations and various venues and country clubs. And so I would work in events. Well, the time came when that part of my life, my children were older. I later had a third child, but that's a whole nother conversation. My children were starting to get older, and I was starting to do more PR work in New York on the side a little bit. And I just said, I just feel it's time to do more PR. Anyway, the time presented itself when it was time to leave the country club scene. I immediately started TS PR and event planning. And that was because many of the weddings or, graduation parties and things that I had booked with this one particular country club, I, had told them that it was time when I was leaving, and they wanted me to continue the project so that the event still was seamless, even though I wasn't going to be there. And so they had hired me to complete these weddings or graduation parties or whatever it was outside of the venue. And so I still ended up doing weddings and those type of events for a very long time. And when they all ran out, I went back to PR, which is what my heart is in. It's I could say that those skills are more attractive to me because I can help small businesses. I can help other businesses. I have a knack of taking what people think is their 30-second elevator pitch or what they think are key messaging, and helping translate their actual vision and messaging into something that is newsworthy and able to be picked up by the media so that their message could spread further and be heard by more people. And when you have that skill, and when you've been doing it for a very long time, it will keep presenting itself in your life, I feel like, until you say, okay, I surrender. And that's where TS Brand Elevation was born.
Wow. Wow. I must say you do a wonderful job. And one thing that stood out to me in everything you've said and shared how TS Brand Elevation was born is doing what you do and doing it best, giving it your
Yeah.
best. Because, Tiffany, let's unpack this here. Had you not done your best at that country club, be excellent at what you were doing, you would not be given that project, even when you told them or informed them that you were about to leave, that you were
That's
resigning.
true. That's true. That
So
is true.
our audience, our people listening to us tonight, we're dropping nuggets of wisdom. What I always preach, whatever you're going to do, be excellent at it.
Right.
If you are sweeping the road, be excellent at it. If you're a janitor, be excellent at it. If you're a book writer, be whatever you decide to give your time. And we are living in a world where we're bombarded by information. You have
Right.
so many social media platforms that you can get information from. And so you are privy to a world of information that you need to use to propel you forward. Tiffany, thank you so much for dropping all these nuggets of wisdom
Yes.
with our
I do want to
Instagram family.
Yes, I do want to take a moment though, and I want to say that even through all of the excellence, do understand that I'm not speaking about perfection though. I am only human. We are all only human. We make mistakes. We don't know what we don't know, but there is something that's within your skill set that is truly unique to you. And that's where you can excel. And that's where I've been able to excel. And I'm sure you have as well, Pamela.
Very true, Tiffany. And that's a great point that you raised because I don't believe in perfection. I don't believe that perfection even ever exists. And that
Right.
is why I keep preaching if you have a book that you want to write, you want to be a speaker, you want to be a publicist, whatever you want to do, don't wait for the right time because there's no right
Right.
time. Just start.
Just do
So,
it.
Tiffany, my next question is in regards to branding. I know this is the heart of the life. I know that you live and breathe PR branding. Tell us, how do you define branding in today's world? Because things has changed so much.
Right. I would say that branding now is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So it's not just colors, it's not just a tagline. Real branding is what people say about you when you're not there. It's what's intentionally has shaped your narrative. What is that narrative?
Very true. And for our audience listening tonight, that's a great question to take home with you. Before you go to bed tonight, ask yourself if you are a founder, if you're a small business owner, or even if you're working a 9 to 5 job, what do people say about you when you are not in the room? My next question, Tiffany, is what do you believe makes a brand memorable?
Being clear and consistent, right? Clarity and consistency helps. And I can use myself for this example. I've worked very hard to to have that messaging out there where people can understand that social media, it is, some people say, oh, she does social media. No, I handle public relations. So that was a part of my messaging that I had to work on to clear up within within my capabilities. It was not on my capabilities list. Do I have certain clients that are grandfathered in from when I had TSPR and event planning, that I did social media for them then, that are grandfathered in, that I still handle their social media? Absolutely. But I have not actually taken on a social media element of my clients for 3 to 4 years, however long I've had TS brand elevation. Now, do I outsource that? Do I support my clients with social media? Absolutely. Do I plan their daily social media? No. So I would say I actually outsource that to people who are much better at social media than me. And that's like First Generation. It's an advertising company, First Generation. I work with a graphic designer that also handles social media. That's Sarah Dams of Surratt Design. There's also Talisha Smith of I Create Magazine. She has I Creators. I'm going to say magazine, but I Creators. She does social media. I outsource social media to them. They do it best. That's something that's timely, that would take away from my PR strategy and branding strategy for my clients, for me. But so that's why I say being clear about what your capabilities are, or what the elements of what you do, um, is very important.
You are very right. And something that stood out is, Tiffany, we have to know when we need to outsource. We have
Absolutely.
to know when we need to get help because
Yes.
we cannot do everything. And
Right.
so, since your focus is really PR branding,
Exactly.
you know what your strengths are. And
Right.
even though you were really good at it, you know you cannot do everything.
Right.
And that's
And
that's
that's one of those things. Social media 6 years ago is a very different platform than social media is now. I mean, there are teams that are out there devoted to handling a company's social media. And
Yes.
so, that would really take away from what I really, what the benefit of hiring me is if I did more than just support. Have a supporting role for my
Role.
clients for social media. Anyway, so my point is that is one of the things that I think, is very important when you're talking about branding and putting yourself out there is being very clear about what your company actually does. And I had to work on that. I had to work on that transition of no, I don't actually handle social media anymore. I support all of my clients, with their social media platforms, but it's not something that I can schedule and do the graphing from and make reels for and all of that for clients. I handle public relations. So,
Thank you. Thank you for making that very clear. Now we're almost half an hour into our
okay,
live. We
sorry.
will,
You and I can talk forever,
we can
Pam.
talk forever. I have so many questions for you, but
Okay.
before we continue, I want to just go to the questions
Okay.
because we're receiving some comments here that I
Oh,
just want to go back to so our
oh, is
audience
this a
can see
question
it.
up here? Should we read it? What mistakes do you see small businesses make in PR and how can they avoid them? Oh, okay. What mistakes do I see? I don't think you wait till the interview, till you book the interview to have your clear messaging, who would be go on camera. And what it is that you want to promote. There's always different things happening within a company, so I would break it down by Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, whatever that looks like for you, and always know these are my 2 to 3 talking points within the first quarter of the year, within the second quarter of the year. The tie-in goes back to the book launch here, or that I'll be speaking in DC in this month. And then know what those visuals are that back those up. It's the cover of the book. It's the event flyer. But these are the main key messaging points that you should always have, that tailor towards the timing of the year for you. I can start at the beginning of the year right now and say for each one of my clients, what their talking points should be for the year, if it's a 6-month contract or a 1-year contract that I have with them. And it will change, but it will only change 2 or 3 times depending on what's happening, because it needs to be consistent. I need them consistently to know these 3 points for these 3 months and these 3 points for these 3 months and what's coming up that ties back into them. Did that make
Great.
sense?
It
Okay.
does. It really does. And just to touch on this as well, Tiffany, would you say one of the mistakes that small businesses, especially small businesses, because the big corporations have the capital, they have the
Right.
budget that they've allocated to marketing, to social media, to public relations, but small businesses, would you say one of the key mistakes that they make is not investing in PR, in marketing, because visibility is key?
Sure. I mean, listen, it depends on your budget. But even if you aren't, of course, I'm going to say yes, always. It helps to have someone like me on your side to help you guide through and navigate that landscape. But even if you don't have a PR budget, right? One of the things that you can stop and invest in is something that's email marketing. Maybe you do not necessarily need to be on television or become an expert commentator for a newspaper, for them to be able to call you about certain things. That may not be a reality for you. But what may be a reality is that you can build your email base, because email marketing, and I'm here to help. Email marketing, for every dollar spent in email marketing, the ROI on that is over $30. So that means that if you have a consistent email marketing plan with or without me, where you are pushing out there your messaging, your new product launches, your events, whatever's coming up, you will get, that's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on return, even thousands, for $1 of email marketing. So create that email list, right? Always, when you are out there, continue to collect emails, continue to create that email list, because the ROI on $1 spent in email marketing is over $30. in
Thank
return.
you, Tiffany. Thank you for sharing this because visibility is key. Whether it's through email, what like you said, you may not have money, you may not have PR dollars, but creating an
Right.
email list. Thank you for sharing this
Yeah. I
with
mean, it
our
may not even
audience.
be about money. You may be one of those people that is not comfortable going on television, or not comfortable, or you can do an interview all day with someone, if it was over email. But if you're not ready to put your face out there, then sometimes you're not ready to be in front of the camera or be that face of your company. And if you're not, which you should be, but if you're not there yet, because we meet people where they are, develop a consistent and solid email campaign.
Thank you. We have one of our viewers said clarity, consistency, and bracket maybe even brutal honesty are key for branding as customers will realize it sooner or later. Very well said. Very well said. And I guess he's making reference to the point you said about you're not having the time to focus on social media. And
Right,
so
right.
you focus on the area that you have the time for, you have more strengths, more skills at, and you pass on what you're not able to handle to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And they do it better than me. I mean, why would I not have First Generation or Sarah Dams do, graphic design and social media? They do it quicker and better than me.
Exactly. And our participant also said SMEs can do easily a lot on social media, but they need experts like the two of you to teach them about algorithms and how they work and what they mean, what that means to them. As like Tiffany is saying, I'm really not an expert on the algorithms or with social
Right,
media, but of course I'm the face of my brand. I have
right.
two businesses and I am the face of my brands, and as a result I put myself out there because I believe as an entrepreneur one of the cornerstone to success is being visible. So I make sure that I am visible. So thank you so much for those questions. Keep them coming. We really
Yes,
appreciate. We love to have an engaging audience.
yes.
So Tiffany, my next question is, listen to this one. This is right up
Okay,
your
I'm
alley.
scared. I don't, what if I can't answer
It's
it?
right
Okay,
up your alley.
okay.
What does it mean for a brand to be media ready?
Actually, I may have already covered this. For a brand to be media ready, okay, you know what? It's always the talking points. You have to have your talking points. You have to know what's coming up, what you're promoting next, so that you're already always ready to give the people what they want. How do they find you? What your email address is, what's your website, what's coming up, your 2 to 3 key messaging points. But one of the things that translates for business, that's for media. Let's take a moment to talk about really how that translates to new customers and clients. And I would say have a very strong elevator pitch. 30-second elevator pitch. Not the one that says, "Hi, I'm Tiffany Sondergaard. I've been handling media relations and public relations for 20 years. I've managed many lifestyle brands that you would recognize, such as Bath and Body Works, Biore." Not that one. The real one, the one that shows impact, the one that solves the problem, the one that says, "Hi, I'm Tiffany Sondergaard. I own TS Brand Elevation, and I help people manage their legacy through targeted media relations and publicity campaigns." That's the one.
Thank you. That's impactful. Thank
Yeah,
you for sharing. You actually gave us a real life example of what we can say, how we can tailor make our elevator pitch. So
right.
we're moving right along.
Okay.
We have people here with us. We have an audience. We have an engaging audience tonight. What is one simple step, Tiffany, someone can take this week to elevate their brand?
I mean, first off, work on that elevator pitch. 30 seconds when you walk, because we're all out there and introducing ourselves to someone every single day. So it's what how does your company, or how do you solve a need? Identify the problem that is correlates with your target audience, your client, your slice of the clientele that you want to have, and solve their problems. What is the problem that is related to most of them that you can solve it? And that's your 30-second elevator pitch. Figure that out. When you introduce yourself, like I said, it's not Tiffany Sondergaard. I've done PR for 20 years. I handle legacies, right? I help people manage their legacy through media relations and public
Thank you.
relations campaigns. So,
Thank you. Thank you. And please keep the questions coming. We love the questions. You have the right person tonight to answer those questions in regards to being visible, in regards to proximity, in regards to brand elevation. Our topic tonight is Elevate Your Brand. PR, visibility, and storytelling with none other but Miss Tiffany Sondergaard. She's well known. She's been selected. She's an influential leader in the Lehigh Valley. And Lehigh Valley is huge, and almost every event I attend, Miss Tiffany Sondergaard is there. And what she's saying is really the truth. Some of us may not be ready to face the television, but there are
right.
simple steps. There are things that we can do in our everyday lives, in our business practices to ensure that we are visible. And she has shared several steps with us, one of which is to create your elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Now, Tiffany, I have a question. Is this something that you help businesses with, especially small businesses?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And honestly, when it comes to, not honestly, that's something I'm trying not to say. Everything I say is honest. But I have recently, I would say maybe a year ago, I added to my list a 1 hour consultation, which gives you, we talk about your brand, and I help you with those things. For a full hour, we kind of just take it back. I kind of dive deep into who you are, what you're doing, what you're trying to do, where you've been, where you're going, where I think you maybe really should go, or what's some low hanging fruit, what's some goals that can happen in the future for you. And we define those, and I help. I make a couple of phone calls for you. I may even, I help steer some of that key messaging. Yeah. So that is something. It's a 1 hour consultation where I help go over, take a deep dive into what you're doing and give some recommendations based on it.
And Tiffany, is this the consultation? Because I also do a consultation when I do coaching or speaking. I Some people charge and some people do not charge. Is there a fee?
Yes, this is a fee because this one we actually do actionable items. And
Okay.
so it depends on what you need. Sometimes I'll help you with that 30-second elevator pitch. Sometimes I will give you, a list of things that are media worthy that you're doing, and help you think of some headlines or some topics. Sometimes I help you with things to pitch. Sometimes I give you some names of people to call. Yeah,
Thank you.
it
Thank you.
depends. It depends on what the need is, but we sit there for an hour, and yes, it is a paid for service. And I give you some actionable items, and we go over some things. You can ask whatever questions you want. And
I believe that I would say maybe 95 to 98% of consultations, business professionals, they do charge for a
yes,
consultation.
in
Because at the end of the day,
2026,
oh
yeah, in
yeah, you're spending
2026, yes,
time.
yeah,
You're spending time, people are picking your brains, you're
right,
brainstorming. And so you never know what
exactly.
can come out of it. So I won't blame you for it because I do
Oh,
charge a
yeah.
consultation fee. Doctors charge a consultation fee. So why
Well,
not?
yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of stuff in this brain. So,
Exactly. And you and I have had one on one. So
yes,
I know.
yes,
I
there
know
is a
your
lot of
strengths.
stuff that's in this brain. And so, and And I think it's important to know that we're on the side because of the things that we're doing and the things that we're handling. You know, we know some things that may be coming up, whether it's in September or December of this year. But I mean, you know, take for instance, you know, the Olympics is coming up in 2028 in LA. A lot of those deals are happening now. Those are things that, you know, if you want to, those are things that should be paid for if we're going to tap into
I
this.
agree. I definitely agree because you are opening pathways for people.
Right.
I definitely do agree. Before we move on, we'll take another break. We have a few questions coming in. We have a
Okay.
very engaging audience. Miss Robinson, we have a Miss Robinson in the house. I think I may know who's Miss Robinson. Um, what kind of events create the strongest brand impact in this region? Great question. What
Sure.
kind of events create the strongest brand impact in this region?
So is the and this is a female that's asking the question, Miss Robinson. Isn't your last name Miss Robinson? Is this a family
Yeah,
member?
it looks like.
I love it. She's planning family members. Um, So if this is a female oriented or a female led company, I would definitely go with the Women's Business Council. The Women's Business Council, anything that they do is, you know, very elite, above board. They have great information and they tap into many women leaders here in the Lehigh Valley. So that's definitely one to tap into. Um,
So you would say women
the
branded
women,
events
yeah.
have the strongest impact in the region.
Yes, and
And
specifically the Women's Business Council, run by the Lehigh Valley Chamber,
Bali.
but
And
the Women's Business Council.
I definitely agree with you because I realize that I would say many events I've attended are women led events,
Yeah,
and they seem to be doing extremely well.
right.
Even so, are the non-profits led by women.
Oh,
What
there's
does
many
that mean?
nonprofits.
What does that
Yes.
mean? I feel so excited. I believe, do you believe there'll come a point or a time when we women will take over? Maybe not.
Hey, listen, we've almost had a female president a few times, haven't we? So
Exactly. You just never know, right?
you never know.
So I hope we are answering your questions. Please keep them coming. We have another question. How important are constant health checks of your PR strategy and elevator pitches? How do you know your changes are successful? So it's a two-part question.
Okay.
How important are constant health checks of your PR strategy and elevator pitches? That's the first part.
Okay. I think that we check ourselves every day, don't we? At least I do. I am my worst critic. I have goals, and every day I have goals that I have to meet. Every campaign, I'm working towards getting the best coverage that I can for a client. And that doesn't always just mean any coverage, it means the best coverage. Um, so how does that pertain to elevator pitches and strategy within one's business? I mean, I think that the way that the media landscape is changing daily, how it's moved from print to more online, you have a lot more areas to tap in. There's influencers now. I mean, even working with influencers, is very important now when it comes to strategy and is part of PR strategy. I feel that also taking a look at, I just lost my train of thought where I was going with that one. But yeah, I mean, it's a constant daily
Check.
um, check, at
I
least for
agree.
me.
I agree because even with me, I started my company in 2023. And for people who may know me, I have a very strong leadership and hospitality background.
Right.
And speaking and training is something I've been doing for many years, having been a leader at the executive level at organizations. And so when I started Fusion Force, my elevator pitch from 2023 to 2026 has changed. And that is why it is so important that you constantly conduct health checks on your
Yeah.
PR strategy and elevator
Yeah.
pitches. So Tiffany is very right. It's constantly
It's
changing
constant.
because the
Yeah.
world is constantly changing. The next part of the question is, how do you know your changes are successful?
By metrics, the numbers don't lie. How many people are engaging? How many new clients are coming on? How many impressions are you getting? All of the things. Go to the numbers.
Yes, the numbers do
Are
not
you getting
lie.
more opportunities? If you can't go to the numbers, do it in terms of opportunities. Do you see that? Have you started an email blast? Do you see that you're getting invited to more events? Sometimes silence is an answer, right? Are more
Yes,
people picking up the phone than they used to? Are more people calling you back when you leave messages than used to? I mean, there's various ways to measure if something is going well, and if something isn't going up in numbers, you can use that may not always be a reflection yet. You can use non-verbal um,
cues.
indicators. Yeah, indicators. Are you being invited to more places? It has the algorithm on your social media changed? I Even a couple of months ago, I don't remember exactly what happened or what I was participating in, and I literally got 2 phone calls from people that I used to work with in New York that I had not seen in years, and they said, "Tiff, you are all over my feed right now. What are you doing?" And I said, "Wow, okay, I'm doing something right this time." Right? So,
Exactly. Exactly.
sometimes, it's just someone coming across your name that you haven't, haven't seen in a very long time, and they actually pick up the phone to say, "Hey, I love to see, I'm seeing what you're doing and I love it."
Very true. Very well said, Tiffany. You've shared so many nuggets of wisdom with us tonight. You've been so impactful. Tonight's topic was elevate your brand, PR visibility and storytelling with
Yeah.
none other but with Tiffany Sondergaard. We have one more question. It's now 12 minutes to the hour of 7. This is what it
Okay.
is, Tiffany. We're almost hitting the 1 hour mark. But before we go, I have some teaser questions for you at the end. But I just want to make sure that I touch on everyone's comments. So I'll go back to where we started and see. Um, we had Abby's. She said, confidence is something we build within ourselves. This is so true. It
Yes.
definitely is something we build. Confidence is a skill. And this is why I love to call myself the confidence architect. Was I always that confident? I remember growing up, I have always been a confident person. But of course, through action, through self development, personal development, learning, I consider myself to be a lifelong learner and I learn something new every single day.
Okay.
And
Nice.
as a result, every day I am boosting my level of self confidence. Every day I am increasing my confidence. So, confidence is not something you're born with, it is something you learn. So, the good news tonight is knowing that if you lack self confidence, you can learn it, you can build that skill. It's a muscle. We have another question. It says, what partnerships or collaborations do you see as most valuable right now? What partnerships or collaborations do you see as most valuable right now?
Well, I think that varies depending on what industry you're in. But I can tell you what partnerships that are coming up for me personally that I love. I have a partnership with Pamela coming up this summer in June. We have Rose and Reeds. It's part of my Toasty Queen professional development and networking. Every year in June, we go to Franklin Hills. We take a Friday afternoon and we go to Franklin Hills. and we do some networking and some development. And this year we're doing authors, and Pamela's one of the authors that will join us. So June 15th, Toasty Queen, Rose and Reeds at Franklin Hills. It's from 1 to 3. You'll see the marketing coming out soon. You can always go on tsbrandelevation.com to the events to find it there. Other collaborations, lots of sports things happening right now, especially in the Lehigh Valley. We've got Saquon Barkley and his foundation, the Michael Land and Saquon Barkley Hope Foundation, coming this summer again in June. And having his very first flag football tournament called the Alpha Invitational. And so that's coming up. Great partnership opportunities there for sponsorship, partnerships, vendors, food trucks. You can take a look online and see how to get involved with that. That's a great partnership to have. Also, Toasty Queen. What else, Pamela? What else are we working on? What are you working on for great partnerships and
I
collaborations?
I am also working on several events. I am working on Honor Her Expressions that should be coming up very soon. I am not holding the book with me, but I will soon have a tea party at Hotel Bethlehem where we will unpack. How many of you have heard of the Emma Grede book? Start with
Oh,
yourself.
okay.
So the goal of that event or that tea party will be just to unpack and discuss what's happening in this book because this is a big topic right now. She's talking about remote work. She's talking about the 3 hour mom. And if you go online now or you just do a search, it will come up. And so I believe that these collaborations, networking with women, networking with the chamber,
Yeah.
networking with putting ourselves out there, I think the key partnerships and collaborations that I see right now are women to women, women
Yes.
supporting women supporting other women, and small businesses supporting other small brands.
Right. I mean, when it comes back to that, there's the Women's Summit that the Women's Business Council does every June. You have to go, have to get tickets to the Women's Summit.
And I
It's a
will
great
be
experience.
speaking this year at the Women's Summit.
See, and you
I
didn't mention it. Yeah.
I
So
will, yes, I will be on on one of the panels.
great.
Again, talking about confidence. So that's a great place to start for anyone in the Lehigh Valley. Toasty Queen, I've attended 2 or 3 Toasty Queen events, and I can
Mhm.
tell you, you shouldn't miss it. My very first Toasty Queen event was at Cedar Crest College. And
Oh,
who is Tiffany? Who is she? Who is making things happen in the Lehigh Valley? And I